Hello guys and welcome back to part 5 of Planet Zoo, the franchise mode. We are looking alright. We have 584 people in. I did do a bit of work, well I say a bit of work, I literally just put a bit of a design. Maybe I was thinking putting that there as well, but yeah, we've done a bit of work on the camels. I do want to, I should have done it before, I didn't really think about it. Wasn't very prepared as always. So I want to try. I don't know if we can because of conservation. Here we go. Right. So I don't need conservation credits for these. We're going to adopt all of these, and we're going to make them a habitat. The Colombian white-faced capuchin monkey. Right. So I've got something in mind that I want. I don't think I'm going to use this on the grid all the time, to be fair. But I'm going to use it for this one. Just because I do have a few ideas. I have been making a zoo on Sandbox. So I've kind of given myself some ideas. This is going to be a fairly biggish habitat. So yeah, I've given myself some ideas of what I want. Whether they're going to play out or not, I don't know. Now, I do like to bring you along on these builds. I know people like fast builds and stuff. Well, I assume I know. I don't know if people like fast builds or not, but basically I want a viewing area, and I like symmetry. I'm going to keep it going in the background, and we'll try and work on things as we go. But yeah, I kind of just want to bring you along, obviously, and we will roughly do the build, and then you can, like I say, like anything like this, I will go back and alter off screen. But yeah, so that's kind of, that's not even symmetrical. I've just said I'm going to do it symmetrical. So we'll move that over, and that over, and then duplicate. Yeah, so I'm building another zoo, of a zoo that I really like, and well, I'm trying to replicate a zoo. Right, this is a problem. So split from group, and then how do I do this? I can't remember. And then just do that. Yeah, right, okay. And then I can just duplicate that. No, I can't. Right, why can't I do that? Right, I'll get back to you. We're already starting from there. We'll get back. Right, so this is kind of the outline. Although my building's just moved back. Right, so this is what I'm thinking. If I can line this up slightly. Right, so I don't know how long, if I'm going to take you through all this with me, but anyway. Right, so this is kind of what I'm thinking. That we're going to have, is it the capuchin? The monkeys that we've just bought, we're going to have as a habitat here. And this is going to be a walkthrough. Right, so this essentially is going to be where you go in. Let me sort of puffing out while it's on my mind. But yeah, this is going to be essentially where you walk in. Into like their habitat, well, not into their habitat because you're not going to walk into their habitat. Their habitat's going to be here, in between, and you can walk over their habitat, walk in between the habitat. And yeah, so we're going to mesh this out. I don't know if I want those doors or if I want other doors. Like I say, some of this will be worked on. And then I was thinking, when you've done that, and then you come in here, and there's going to be another habitat here. Now I have an idea what I want to do for it. I'm not going to say it yet because it's not going to be in this episode, but that's where we're going. So we're kind of combine two habitats in a sense, but they're not going to be combined. They're kind of just be next to each other. And then I've not decided what I'm going to do for this. This may become a habitat. It might become an eating area. Which, to be fair, actually, now I've just said that would be pretty cool. So yeah, undecided on that just yet. But I do like that idea. I really like that idea, actually. So yeah, so we're going to just worry about this habitat for now, the capuchins. And then yeah, let's place some barriers down and let's see what we can do here. So I don't know if this is going to be small. So we want actually fences. I know we can do our own fence, which I will do for in the middle. So I kind of just is that fence? Right, that's climbable, but I don't think they can't break the fence down regardless. So we should be all right. So yeah, that's kind of like what we're going for. And yeah, hopefully it's going to look all right. Now obviously these fences need to be non-climbable. So if we could have just circled that. If we then raise it up to where the roof is and we make it so escape out of that and just do these as non-climbable, because I assume they can climb over if we let them. Right, so then I'm going to come back to you with that in a minute once I've done this fencing. Right, so yeah, I've kind of gone with something like that. I'm not the best with mesh fencing. I find it kind of hard. I'm assuming everyone does. It's hard to just get it lined up, but there is a bit of overlap, but I'm not bothered about the overlap on here. Maybe should have used wood, thinking about it now, but I kind of like how it's turning out so far. So we need to obviously, although we don't need to obviously raise the path. Maybe I should bring all the fencing down, actually, now I'm thinking about it. Because if I bring all the fencing down, the walkway's fine, and then, because I'm not going to be able to climb on the roof, that's what I'm just thinking now. So maybe I have to mesh the top, because I'll be able to climb on it. Yeah, I've not thought this through, evidently. But yeah, if we bring this down and see... No, we can't bring it down. Right, so we're going to have to raise the roof. And make this like a big-ass building, I guess. If you've got any pointers on how to stop any climbing... yeah, I didn't think this through. I actually thought this would be really cool, and then obviously now I've thought about it and we've come to actually doing it. Maybe because we want them going over, climbing over, don't we? And I want them so they're on top of the fence. So we're obviously going to put some enrichments on the top, some climbable enrichments. But yeah, if we do this, and then I need to actually come up with things to put inside. If I have a habit of just pressing pause. And then yeah, if we do that, hopefully they can't climb over. They're only small monkeys, and as long as I've got nothing climbing over here, it should be alright. But we will obviously find out when it comes to it. So we want... Where do we want our entrance for the keepers? I think we might build a staff area here, just a small one. So yeah, we need to, I don't know where to put the keepers now. We could put the keepers going in here, or they could come off the building. The building would be better per se, but then I don't want it really messing with the paths. But I suppose we could, let's just delete that for a second. I suppose we could just delete that. Okay, maybe not. Delete that, and then let's on the grid, and then make that our barrier walkway. But then obviously this. Sorry, this is why I kind of like cut at times, but I want to bring these obviously through the process with me as much as possible. I suppose we bring that in a bit, as much as it allows, and then our doorway should. Hopefully. Why is it showing brick? And the doorway goes in nicely there. Nice. Alright. So I might have to raise this roof a bit more, but we're going to find out. So let me put some glass panels in first. And then we'll get the monkeys in and then we'll see. So yeah, that's a little capuchin monkey habitat. So let's see what we've got. We're low on cash. Mechanic research is complete. Let's have a quick look at our research. So we've got power and souvenir shop. And vet research is complete. Yes. And then we will check our animals shortly. Or we can do that quickly. Excuse me. Collect all 3. Okay, so we've got the wild dog's fully complete, so that's good. We'll do the axolotl, I guess, next. And then, where do you go on food? So animals, food, get the food quality for all as high as we can. And our research for the camels, doing alright, we're doing alright. So, let's check. Most of them are very happy, they're all very happy. I'm going to assume we've got loads in exhibit, so let's just sell them. Quick trade for 3,000. So yeah, I was given some points on, or tips on what to do with the exhibit, which is good tips, but then I need to see here. Oh no, we're alright, yeah. So yeah, maybe I could make more money from them, but then why is it they're not storing and I've got like how many common death adders? So something's going wrong with the exhibits there, but do you know what? I'm okay with it for now. I will do that off screen and look and maybe put it on screen depending if I actually know what I'm doing. But yeah, right. So we're waffling again. Let's get these cute capuchin monkeys in, and the Colombian white-faced. So research is doing well. This is why I should play it while I'm building, but I don't want to get overwhelmed. Alright, so the zoo's coming out alright actually, it's coming out quite nicely. I'm very happy with it so far. I could be a bit more adventurous in the building, so this is kind of why I was going with this. Like I say, I'm building a zoo off another real zoo, so I've actually learnt quite a bit, or at least I've got some better ideas than what I've actually been doing and just doing on the grid stuff. So hopefully that'll show in this zoo. But the further we get on, hopefully the better the builds. Right, so look at these cute guys. I wonder if they can just climb the mesh anyway. I don't actually know, to be fair. So pretty poor welfare. Let's pause because I do not want protesters already. So the habitat is too small. Right, we're going to roll with the habitat being too small just for now. Because I think, because then I have to, do I do it now? Right, I'm going to have to, let me come back to you, because I'm going to have to make this bigger. Which is easy enough, easily done. But we'll just make this bigger. I'll be back in a sec. Right, so I've managed to sort that out. It should be resolved, the issue now. I've obviously made it bigger. So yeah. Didn't think of the hard shelter bit, but I can bring off the hard shelter anyway off the building, so that's fine. To a degree, I think, because now I'm thinking about it, I've got to be very careful. Didn't really think much about this. So yeah. Quite silly actually, but do you know what? We're going to make it work regardless because I like this idea. Like I say, I always say this, and I say it all the time, I will come back and make this look a lot prettier. More realistic in the long run. Maybe we'll do some speed builds. I don't know if that's what people are interested in, at least not from me anyway. So yeah, so that way they can get up there. Let's just play this and see. They keep getting trapped there? Do they? I'm not sure. Alright, so I wonder if they're going to use this. But the food has to be on this side, because obviously the keeper won't be able to get to the other side. So we can put the food there, and we can have an infinite water source. There. So that's the food sorted. Yep, we're underpriced. I get it. So can they climb up there? They're not doing it at the minute. Maybe because it's raining, that's why they're in there, which I completely understand. But yeah. Then you kind of see the monkeys in there, which is so cool. They're just jumping out anyway, so there's no need for that. But then it allows us to give a hard shelter. So let's just do some enrichment, because they're not climbing up there. That's a climbable pole. They don't want us team to climb over. Is this a fail? I'm not sure. Please climb up. I need to know if they'll go in. This might be a fail, you know. So I don't know. It should be a shame if it is. I'll be quite gutted if it is a fail. We are back. I'm not going to tell you how much that has just stressed me out. So I've watched them for a while, as you can tell by our money. We've just made a lot of money back while I'm just watching them trying to climb over. So I've decided against it. And I also thought, because if they're actually making a mess on the other side, the keeper's not going to be able to get to it anyway. So I do think it's a cool habitat, and now I'm thinking about it. We'll do it for a different habitat of what I've just thought. I'm not going to say because it's so obvious now. But do you know what? It is what it is. But yeah, no, I kind of like this. I do need to make it bigger, which I'll do in a future episode. Maybe next episode. In between, I'm going to make this bigger. Although they are looking alright, in fairness. And you do have climbable. Their enrichments are going to get better. I've just cluttered it at the minute, and I'm going to take some of this out when needed. They love the plants. Obviously, I've made the bedding bigger, and they've got one viewing area, so that's alright. So yeah, so they are happy as of now. And well, the welfare is 87. The habitat, cleanliness, yeah, so there's not a lot I can really do. Yeah, so it's just cleanliness. So yeah, so I think that's pretty cool. Like I say, I am going to actually make it a bit bigger for him. Maybe 1 or 2 tiles out this way. And they've obviously you've got viewing this side, you've got viewing at every side, and you do have a bit of viewing in the bed. And then, yeah, little walkthrough. Now, if you can see in this walkthrough, which I've obviously just gone with plaster. I'm no good at this camera. How do you turn? So you just you want to turn anyway. It's all left or right. Which buttons are that? So now, if I stand, how do I have to look left or right? Need to work that out. But yeah. So as you can see, I've left this with some viewing as well, which will be in the next habitat, which is also, this is going to, I'm going to say that's a big build. I've just taken me forever. I've been at this video for 1 hour and 13 minutes. You ain't going to see that long. But yeah, it's taken me longer than I expected. So yeah, I'm gonna redo all this, and I will show you next. If you want to see speed builds or anything like that, let me know. I can do that. That's not a problem. Like I could obviously come on and we do a bit of video and a bit of the work round. You know, selling some exhibit animals, keeping an eye on animals and stuff like that, and then I can cut to a speed build, and then come back when the finished product. I don't know. I'm still obviously working this out. As you can see, our guests are going up to 800. We're at 29,000. I'm sure we're making money. We're 9,000, nearly 10,000 in green. So we are doing really well. Obviously, we have no loans. See, we could charge more for this. And obviously, once we get some donation pots around, the monkeys, are these making money? Is the camels making a bit of money? Don't think that is. Oh, it's making more. So yeah, I looked at the turtles, and that's been 1,500. That's insane. So yeah, we obviously still have research to go. Let's have a look at that quickly before we do go. So camel's fully researched. The Amazonian giant centipede and the bullfrog and the axolotl is nearly done, in fairness, with all that come over. Because I didn't just let it play, and the mechanics are done. So let's quickly just do this then. So what do we want? We've got barriers, habitats. So we'll do staff facilities because we want bigger. We definitely want shelters and climbing. I want to worry more about habitats and guest attractions, so we'll just go with that, and then we'll start doing some themes because I'm not worried too much about themes. And then obviously we want capuchins, and then we'll just do another exhibit animal. So our wild dogs are done: centipedes, bullfrog, camels, and tortoise. So they're like I say, our exhibit animals are important, but I'm not going to spend too much time on them. I'm just going to use them to obviously sell and then check back up on them every now and then to make sure that obviously we've got exhibit animals in there. So like that episode there, I just sell 7,000. We're raking it in here. Does that go into? Was it 8,000? Was that 700? Not 7,000. It might have been 700. So yeah, we're at 30,000 as we end. Which, we're doing really well. Because we're on medium, in fairness. Which I suppose if we did hard, maybe we'd be okay still. I'm not sure. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching. I will make that building a lot prettier, but that is our zoo coming along nicely. We've got tortoises, we've got the camels, we've got the wild dogs, and now we have the capuchin monkeys. And I am going to concentrate on an exhibit here and a staff facility probably around here. But I just need to work out and think what I'm actually going to do. But I do have something in mind. So yeah. So anyway, thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.